All right, a beautiful morning to you all out there. Hope you're good. I'm good. Thank God it's Friday. TGI had. Yes, it's good to be alive. I used to tell people that no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're passing through, you should know that's my regular saying. You shouldn't give up on yourself. Just believe that when there is life, there is hope. We are all passing through one thing or the other, I'm telling you. We all have our own personal issues that we can come out and start saying, don't think your problem is the biggest. Just believe. Believe in whatsoever you've been believing in that is working for you, that is working with you. Continue to believe in it, and I'm telling you, it's going to pass. It's just a storm. It's going to come and go. I'm your host this morning, Teresa Adeyemi, on Pitch Talk with Tessie. And remember, on Pitch Talk, all we'll do is we'll say it the way it is. And this morning, I have a guest in the house with me as usual. You know, it's always a fresh guest. And this morning we're going to be doing politics, mostly politics. We're going to be talking about insecurity in Nigeria, what is happening in the country. And on that note, to start with, Oni of Ife declares Southwest does not want war. Yes, it declares the Southwest, we do not want war. Yeah, we do not want war. People keep chanting war songs, they keep chanting war songs, war songs, war songs. And the most annoying aspect part of it is that people in abroad and overseas, they keep talking about war songs. They keep chanting war songs. They want war, they want war, they want war. They are at a convenient place, they are at a comfortable place. And they are telling us they want war. We don't want war. I support the Oni of Ife. We don't want war. We can make it in every country is struggling. Follow every country, follow up with every country. Every country is struggling. There's insecurity in the world, not only Nigeria alone. But we can tackle it. If we believe we can, I'm telling you, we can. We should always drive for positivity. Even though if you travel abroad, you know that there's no place like home. Nigeria will forever be yours. All right, Oni of Ife declares Southwest does not want war. Obadeye Ogunwusi, the Oni of Ife, has raised an alarm over the security challenge in the country, declaring the Southwest does not want war. Oba Ogunwusi made this known at a meeting with President Muhammad Buhari at the State House on Thursday. Speaking on behalf of other traditional leaders in the region, he noted the challenge in the southwestern part of the country is real, as most rural communities have been occupied by strange people. The Oni reiterated that the traditional leaders are worried but prepared to work with the government as they call for a reinforcement of federal apparatus to defend themselves from people it describes as bad heads, who may not all necessarily be Fulanis. So that's how far we can go this morning on insecurity. Now, it's not time for me to introduce my guest to you. To meet my guest, we'll be talking about a lot of things. We've been hearing about TNN 2023. We've been hearing a lot, and even on some social media platforms, we've been saying, is there anything like that? But I'm going to prove it to you this morning that there's more to that. Because I have a guest, someone you know, someone is a politician. You know, he contested in the last election, and the most surprising aspect of it was that he even decamped from a party to another party. He left PDP to APC. All that we'll be finding out this morning from him. And what is the mission, the vision of TNN 2023? And what is TNN 2023 all about? You're welcome to the program, Honorable Kunle Okunola.
Good morning.
You're welcome to Fish Talk with Tessie.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. It's so good to have you.
Thank you.
The last time I had you on my program was during the election.
Exactly.
The election didn't go well.
It's good with the will of God.
With the will of God, thank you very much. That is the mind of a politician. That's a true politician. All right, sir. So you now live in PDP after all the years in PDP, MKO, Ikeja 1, Ikeja 2. We know how popular you are. MKO. No, you now live in PDP to APC. Why did you do that, sir?
Thank you very much. And people get surprised about my decamping processes because they don't have vision for tomorrow. And I can tell you that the narrative have changed. I always inch whatever I do on political solution. We all knew quite all right that I participated in the last election. I spent my money, time, and energy and effort. And because the will of God, it is bigger than all of us. Just like some people have propagated that there's going to be war, even the men of God, all of them come with various visions and what have you. But after the election, we find out that the narrative has changed in the sense that Nigeria believes in rotational government. Okay, after the north, it comes down to the south. And if definitely I want to participate in politics, it's has to go towards that line. It's not about dirty politics of sentiment and what have you. So immediately I finished and I let the whole Ikeja know what I'm capable of doing. And after the election went the way he won, I decided in my own heart that definitely power is rotating to South. I should be a partaker to really stand for my people, because my calling is to stand for my people. It's not for myself. And if it is a selfish politics, I'm going to stay back in PDP. But if my people are the people I'm trying to represent in every area of their aspiration, I find out that the narrative have changed. The Southerns are to get power in 2023 based on the rotational presidency, because we see that our peace are being troubled because we've not been doing the right thing. So, and we can't abandon that in the middle of this present crisis. So there's no reason for us to say that we are going to pitch tents with people who eventually their intention is to take power back to North. So my own is to come and partake in the process of the power shifting down to the South. So I decided that the best thing for me to do is to decamp to the ruling party, who are vested with the responsibility of such at this present time. Unless if they do otherwise, you can only come up with a new party or new people in power is when the ruling party are not doing well. And at the same time, even the Bible and the Quran said, you have to pray for your leaders. You have to pray for them to have vision. It's not because when the country turns into war that you cannot become somebody. It is those people who have no capacity that look under terrible situation to benefit. So I'm not the type. So I decided I have to participate in the South. Then how do I want to, is to join the ruling party, is to guide them, is to be a partaker in whatever they are doing for the next 4 years. So while power is resting into our side there. And we'll be able to sensitize people, create awareness, even among us in the South, who are the most qualified. So that is the essence why I decamp. I decamp basically because I want the power to rotate South, and I cannot be used to retain power in the North.
Okay, so ever since you've decamped, what has your experience been like with the new party?
Actually, it's a very, very challenging one, and it's enjoyable. You know, I can term myself as a dog who see both sides. In PDP, apart from people who say PDP are this, you know about their impunity. They try to get it right, but underneath, it's like a cancer. It has eaten deeply into their body. And that's why they could not get anything right. There's no discipline, there's no leadership focus, there's no center that you could tailor all our grievances and whatever the problems. When I come to APC, I find out that there are more discipline in that party. In anything in life, discipline is first. There are more discipline, and there are more people who believe that they should look up to certain people. Okay? And we think that when we started crisis here and there, or everybody wants to be master of their own, you can't bring anything positive. So even, let me give an example. In Dubai, the present Sheikh come from a family who even decided that his own children right now should take after him, despite the fact he's supposed to be from the brother and senior brother. But in Dubai today, they still agree with him, and that's why he's able to achieve certain things. To come and serve the people is not by force. So in PDP, there are a lot of problems in there. And I can tell you, even Atiku himself that came out as a president, including the Osun, there is a bigger betrayal behind most of the problem they are facing right now. So I can tell you, most of those people that are behind them are betraying them every day. They use them, they sell them out, they ask for peanuts from here and there. They are not focused. And in that kind of people, in that kind of setting, there's nothing you could do. You keep on wasting energy, time, money on such people. So it's high time we should look beyond that, creating unnecessary havoc problem, creating tension in the society and what have you. They should be able to see themselves as an opposition and come out with a better program, a better thing to really tell us, or even to people, the present ruling party, into their toe. But since I've joined them, I found out that there are more better structure in there, which has really enshrined themselves in Nigerian fabrics. So it's not easy to really take power from them. When you look at most of the people that rule in PDP, are people who have no even idea as a president And that's why they say they are so peaceful and this and that, you can wish away power. When you wish away power, because you don't even look at the bigger sector of it, is now problem. The premature way of doing things that Jonathan did was what we are now attending to now. Because even it did not allow APC to prepare for power. So they now are more confused and they need time to really set it up, which I think this second term of Buhari will be able to help to really put Nigeria in that whatever perspective anybody is talking. If we all cooperate with them, if we want the peace in Nigeria, not war, because everybody can know the beginning of war, nobody knows the end. And I can say categorically on this TV now that we have political solution to all our problems. It is those terrible ones that is thwarting all everybody's efforts, all because of their own selfish interest. We've been having selfish interest since 1960. What has it taken to us? What's our problem are external. They bring in people who are not competent to come and rule the nation, and at the same time they blame us. Let me give you a scenario. Present people are still stealing too, just like yesterday people. What are the UK doing about it? They are still laundering their money.
I'm telling you, yeah.
With the pick Ibori, after they spend his money, they return him back to Nigeria. Is Nigeria a burial ground or dead body? So now they are dealing with Dezani. Dezani is in London right now. They are covering all our active money that she has stolen. They are taking it bit by bit. Without Nigeria, there can be UK. And most of our problems are external. They won't allow us to choose our leader because they don't want to give us the independence, because they are not prepared to give us the independence. After independence, they discover we have oil. And indirectly, they have started enslaving us systematically, using other people and lying to us left and right. Because if truly they want us to have independence, why can't they allow us to choose our own leader? I will give a scenario. When Abacha died, Abiola was still having his mandate. How Abiola died, nobody knows it now. Those you should ask our external factor people, because in Nigeria, we just heard that Abacha died. We have nothing to say. It is them that bring Candelisa rice, Candelisa beans, Candelisa tomato. You see, when they brought them, we thought they are here to help us. You see, that is their system. They call themselves United Nations, they call themselves African Union or whatever, in order to suppress us. They brought them, discussed with Abiola. We don't know what they are discussing. Everybody knows that this man has his mandate. Before you know it, we had Abiola died. Is it Nigerian factor? And when they released Obasanjo from prison, Obasanjo denounced coming out for presidency until he went to America to meet Carter, who was the president when he was formerly a military president. Before that, there is an handshake. And Obasanjo came back to start inspecting Eagle Square, even without winning election. We have not conducted election. He started inspecting Eagle Square. Before you know it, we heard that PDP is a military party. Now, another party has taken over from PDP to really have Nigeria coloration. Yet they will not let us rest. So I'm telling you, this is a funny thing. And thank God that Buhari is a military man. For you to take away from military party, you need a military man who is in that constituency as well to really checkmate them. And that is what is happening presently. They might not be happy, but Nigeria's voice and our will shall come to play. You said something about people in diaspora. During the inclusion of WhatsApp, most of people in diaspora, when they left here for Green Park Chop prematurely, they don't know Nigeria is going to be better. They left some of their friends here struggling, but when they got there, they give them credit facility for 30 years. After years, when they have eaten and they have seen that life is not about food, that all their car is on mortgage, their house is mortgage. Sometimes some of them borrow money to come to Nigeria and find out that their mate they've left behind has become director, MD of a company. Driver is driving in, he has his own personal house, he has his own personal car. They know everything you have in Nigeria, including your phone, is not mortgage. So they get envious. So they now went back to start fighting us using online to fight Nigeria. Telling some of us who have really built our businesses here that have a stake in Nigeria that they have more. If you have more, will you leave the shore of this nation? You remember during the other time when Babangida, all of them, they are saying, Andrew, don't check out. They are the Andrew who check out now. They are the Andrew who are not pleased with where they are. There is no light in Nigeria, there is no road. Are you living here? Where there is light and road, why can't you stay there? And let us solve our problem. So the inclusion of the foreign people, the people in diaspora, has really put mess in our democracy because of the online. Because what they do is to look at the negativity of Nigeria and paste it online. Within seconds, the whole Nigeria have seen it. When there was no GSM, when there was no WhatsApp, We are able to manage ourselves. They don't even know what is happening in Osun, talk less of Ondo or anywhere. But now they know everything, and they are now looking at their own indirect pain of wanting to come back home, to come and be like us that have savaged it and developed our nation. They are destroying everything. They are all signed for 30 years in London, in America. That is mortgage, because you must pay mortgage even when you are on holiday. So when you spend 30 years of your life, when you are not in prison, you know how it will be. So let all of them stay where they are. They have left Nigeria. Let Nigeria who are here to solve our immediate problem.
That's a very good one, sir. All right, sir, then when we now say this TNN 2023, what is this actually all about?
TNN 23 is a non-governmental organization. It's a voluntary organization that I am championing, because I can't come to APC to become idle.
Okay.
And people know me, and I look at the political scenario. I see that the narrative has changed, and I see that people need to be informed. We need to create awareness to let them know that the rotational power on itself can solve Nigerian problem. Let me give you a scenario here now. When Obasanjo came in power, there was a part of OPC. It was not there in 1998. Okay. It always goes. Nigerian custom. It goes with presidency. That illegality goes with presidency, because you know that your own person is in the aim of affair. So whatever anything you do to suppress other tribe or other region, nobody will question you as such. So OPC came on board, but because Obasanjo is a military man and who does not actually believe in anybody, than whoever put him there, he was able to quell the OPC at that time. I remember he picked Gani Adams towards the tail end of his government. So when Obasanjo left office and Jonathan came, do you remember that we had Niger Delta? He started giving them amnesty so that they will not destroy our petroleum installation and what have you. So when Jonathan left, Buhari came, we heard about herdsmen. So adding Fulani to it is what it is funny. Herdsmen can be a Yoruba man, it can be an Hausa, it can be whatever, depending on what you want to do. Herdsmen is a business of cattle rearing. That is the word for it. So putting certain tribe is to sectionize it or to actually create a kind of confusion. So the president is there right now. The herdsmen are problem. Fine. Because they find out that it's a northerner, it's their person, and what have you. Be a Fulani, be a northerner, or whatever. Even be a Yoruba that's an herdsman too. You can't, because when you go to Oyo, during Adesina, when Buhari came at that time, you find that there are Yoruba people who are doing the same business, because they cannot do it all alone. So now, where is there now? We are here at rather for all of us to come together and look at a common solution. Some people are tribalizing issue. They are putting coloration into it. So even the government are confused at what level to handle this problem. The banditry, the criminal aspect of it have been perpetrated by some people who is taking advantage of Nigeria being confused as to what to solve. So that's where I saw it, and I decided that, okay, when I got to APC, I'm going to champion a cause for power rotation. So TNN is all about power rotation. That is, power must come down south. If power comes down south, then who are the person, which region in the south actually participated in this ruling party victory, which is Southwest. We all know that most of the Southeast are PDP people, and they could not come out at this point in our time to say they want to be president of Nigeria, because what vote did we have in that place last time for APC, and how many governors? So Southeast are for what? They are for PDP. Southwest is for APC. So, and even if it is in Southwest now, who is the most qualified person that can take us out of the wood? Because we don't want trying and error, and we don't want external factor. We don't want people to bring in their own idea towards our own governance. So I narrow it on my own to Tinubu, and that's why you hear TNN, Tinubu 2023, not negotiable, and his southern agenda. And that's why you see Unity Forum under it. Because we want to unite the nation, and we want to sensitize people to the importance. Let me tell you, I'm frightened. I'm frightened because I don't want the Southwest to make the same mistake 3 times is not forgiven. During the time of Awolowo, he was loved, he's more hated by the Yorubas. They didn't even give him the opportunity to let us know that the Northerners love him even more than the Yorubas. Because I remember during his campaign, he used helicopter to drop his balloon in every area. Some people who have created water around him, they find out that the guy swam through and he was able to win considerably. Though most of those elections are questionable, because at that time we have to go to tribunal to determine certain things in which national we connive with our own people during our own time. The same thing happened with MK Abiola. He was so much loved and at the same time hated in Yoruba land. And you find out that Tinubu too have the same tendency right now. Tinubu is so loved. I'm telling you, he is so loved. When I formed this TNN, you could see the caliber of people trooping in. Not that we gave any. It's an online thing. It's a voluntary organization. Okay. If you look at our loop in 36 states, even our telegraph has been getting to close to 2,000. So people from the north are more participating in this process. And they know the name Tinubu. So it's not that it's strange to them. They know who he is. So because we have narrowed it to Southwest, and in the Southwest, we don't want people to be selling voodoos to us, because we've seen sometimes some Afenifere has gone to meet Ekiti governor, Fayemi, to come out for president. They've been started thwarting him. It's to bring confusion. Some are talking of Fashola. We are aware of it. Some people talking about vice president. Yoshibajo, he can't do 8 years as vice president. We want to become president. And we know what it is. We know that actually, if you look at Oshibajo, he learned under who? Tinubu for 8 years. He was a commissioner. After that, Tinubu favored him to become the vice president. So why do I want to bring a learner when there is a driver too? That position is meant for a driver. So why would I want to say I want to support Oshibajo against Tinubu when Tinubu is a veteran, when he discovers leaders? Yeah. So, and when he's not too old to go for that position, because Buhari is older than him and is there. Why is it we Yoruba that will be painting negativity? Some people will say he's corrupt. Under this problem, who is not corrupt? And when you are talking of presidents, you cannot be talking of corruption for a president. You can be talking of somebody under, because he's going to dispense all the money. I remember when Buhari came in, he was borrowed money to buy for. So he's dispensing whatever Buhari wants now with Nigeria. That's what happened. And I will give an example. When you look at the Rockefeller family during the time of America, Rockefeller family take over everywhere, whatever. When he left, he has built the America for America to take it. So give Tinubu, let his passion, the motive. We have seen now, when Buhari came in there, he's so tired before they give him power. He has no much passion. We have seen it. But people with passion. Abiola wants to rule. You didn't allow him. It's not for any other person except the Southwest too. They started again against Tinubu. What is his crime? Let anybody who is reasonable tell us what is Tinubu crime. He did 8 years as a governor in Lagos State. He enshrined a democratic setup that everybody can see. Nothing lasts long anyway. He has to be built on over and over. But when he was there as a governor, we could see what he could do. From there, he bring in Fashola, who follows suit in his dream. Except this President Ambodi, who is so believing in himself without no knowledge. And we can see what happened now. We can see what happened now. Even just like at your own house, if you don't listen to your father, you say your father's head is not correct. He brought you to life now. If you need to advise him, you advise him. You can't see better than him. Because the sun shall shine, you come to where there is a shed. It's a matter of time. So I want to tell you that in this issue of presidency, it's bigger than anybody in Nigeria, in Southwest than Tinubu. And my fear now is we will not close our eyes and we repeat the same mistake 3 times. We won't allow anybody to kill Tinubu, and that's why we quickly start up this online program to really get people conscientized. So that on the long run, you understand know which crowd and who are behind Tinubu in this presidency. So it will not be for himself alone. Tinubu himself has said he's not contesting for presidency, but we are undaunted. We are undaunted because it's not about for him. A lot of senators won. Ilola Omisore won in prison. Fayemi, when he was attacked, and Opeyemi, when he was attacked in Ekiti, he went to London or America for treatment. He won as a president senator. So even if Tinubu let him leave Nigeria and go to America, we are going to vote him in.
It's a must.
It's a must.
That's
because
non-negotiable.
The word is not negotiable. I want people to know that.
Okay.
The ambition that we are talking is southern ambition. And if it is for South, it must be for Tinubu, and it's not negotiable. It's not even for him to partake. Because power.
Because I had something on social media that he came out with his media field, his media head of media said there's something going on here online that he doesn't know anything about it. That there's some faceless people.
Thank you very much. Because you didn't know us, so we are faceless. Because I just decamped from PDP. I came to APC. I've not met him. I've not discussed anything with him because it's not negotiable. And that's why when you see the words, I don't know. Maybe people are not educated. The words is so simple.
Non-negotiable.
Not negotiable.
No going back.
Even Tinubu can't negotiate it with us. I'm telling you, you cannot call us and tell us that we should stop because it's not his own making.
Yes.
It is our own time. It doesn't have the right. And let me tell you, it is time for us to start bringing leadership to people, not people always coming out. I found out that most of the problem that Awolowo met was because of his ambition. The same thing with MKO. Yeah. So we don't want it to be Tinubu ambition now. Okay. We want him to be at the background. So we want to do it. We want to die for him. So that if anybody want to play any political game, you know, it is Trump. They will find Trump cases and say they pick Tinubu and put him somewhere. All the youth will be sleeping in that place. Nigeria will boil. So I'm telling you, it's a voluntary organization, and we have our crowd already, both locally and international. Wow. We have them, and for the 36 states of the Federation, including Abuja, we have our loop. And what we are doing is, we have inaugurated Lagos, we are inaugurating Osun on this last month of the Sunday, last Sunday of the month 28th. That's Osun. They're already warming up. What we do is, in that loop, once we are 100 mile and we spread around the local government, we do the inauguration, we set up the state exco. So it's non-political affiliation. So in our group, in our association, we have non-politicians, we have APC, we have PDP, we have APGA. It's a blending Nigerian who don't want war. Because some people are getting tribalistic about this present situation now. Yeah. Some of us don't want war. And most of those people who don't want war, they don't have any other thing to give them succor, something they can fall under. Tomorrow is better. And that's why we're quickly coming with Tinubu agenda now. So that while other people are saying, let Biafra go, let Oduduwa nation go, we are saying, no, don't let them go. Let power come to Tinubu, we will correct the thing. And everybody knows that Tinubu is capable to be Nigerian president. Everybody knows. Let me give an scenario. Everybody knows because he has been there for long. He has experience on this NADECO. He was a formerly senator during the Abiola era when Babangida cancelled the election. He went using NADECO routes. He assisted so many people, most of the senators, and he stood his ground until last moment when Abiola was killed and the new democracy being ushered in. When he even came, he didn't want to come in as a governor because we the youth, I was a youth leader in Ikeja then, because we have 22 youth that represent every constituency. So we are 40 of them. We gather in his house in Sunday and Igbo, and we tell him, okay, you have to go. You are seeing yourself as a senator. You've done senator. Even at that time when you want to become a Senate president, he is the best material for Senate president at that time. But because we knew that Abiola is coming out for president, and the Yoruba person cannot be Senate president and the president is still the president. So you see, it's a give and take. And Tinubu actually tell them to let him go before you became the Senate president at that time. So we all knew that this man understands power and is not greedy. So when the Yoruba nation people told him then that Abiola is coming out for presidency, you remember that Babangida was starting the scheme, cancel this ban Yaradua, ban all this before Abiola came on board. So because before when they were doing the Senate president Tozu, they told Tinubu that you can only create opportunity for Yoruba to become president when you don't go for Senate president. And he listened to them. And that was why he jettisoned the idea of Senate president. And at the same time, being in that Senate, he's like a Senate president because he was declared wanted by Babangida and all that, Abacha, when he wanted to transform himself into civilian. When Dia Popola came to meet him that in their announcement, when Abacha take over, they are going to make sure that June 12th is come first in their agenda. But when they made the announcement, nothing like that, Tinubu challenged them. And they were running after him. He went into the hiding and he was operating from the background. So he had both Abiola international contacts, which they used. Nation at that time, all those rubbish of destruction, Tinubu is gathering them to build the Yoruba nation. You are all living witness at that time, even including local government money that was cut short because of creation of local government. Are you saying in Lagos State we are not deserving more than 50 local government, when in 1970 Lagos has 20, Kano has 20? When they create Katsina and other states under Kano, they are going to 84 something local government. Lagos is still maintaining 20 till now. So we have to be fair for ourselves. And the governor who came here, he saw a taxing problem. He decided to do what his people want. And somebody in Ota, who did not even do the bill to his own place in office, go to Ota today, you see what we are facing. He's now saying we should not govern ourselves, all because we honor him with presidency. So while he was scattering Yoruba nation, and I will give an example too, when Obasanjo was leaving, you ask him a very vital question. The chairmanship of PDP are supposed to be for the Southwest, which is for Yoruba nation. What did he do with it? Where did he sell it to? Because he didn't want anybody to rise up. And a leader that always believes on followership. It's like a candle. If your candle burn off without lighting other candle, you are all being in darkness. But when your own is getting towards dim, you light another one, you yourself will be in light while others won't have. That is what they call life. It transforms from one generation to another, and you must have a vision. So when Obasanjo was leaving PDP, he's supposed to make a Southwest man a national chairman of the party. But because he didn't want anybody that rise up within here, because he cannot manage them, so he wished away to the south or wherever he feel like putting it. And those are the problems that are here. He started impunity, he started all this scatter, and at the end of the result, did Jonathan ever even say he want to be president? So these are the problems. So when Obasanjo was destroying, he was busy destroying for 8 years. Tinubu is gathering all those builder stone and is now using it to build the Yoruba nation. And that's what you are seeing here. Now, Tinubu has now built the Yoruba nation before Obasanjo can now wake up. So when he now wake up, instead of him to join hands to see what further he could do with Tinubu to transform our nation, he that saying he wants one Nigeria is the one now saying war. Is war part of one Nigeria?
All right, MK, we're just talking now. I know you have a lot to say. You always have a lot to say.
Seriously?
Yes, but I want to quickly ask one question, because this NGO, I keep thinking about it. Is it not against the present government? Are you in support of the present government?
Seriously, that's why we set up this. Okay. To create, you know, most of people that are in my TNN are jobless people like me who don't have job. And they said an idle man is a
Devilman's workshop.
Yes. A lot of teaming politicians today who have no appointment, they are not in office, they are roaming the streets, they will wake up in the morning, bath and say, I'm going out. What are they going to be doing? Firstly, is to arrest their aim and ambition and aspiration towards working towards their tomorrow betterment. Okay? So it is solely for jobless people like us.
So it's like empowering the youth.
Empowering the youth without now them going to look at something else or join the people who are being tribalistic or sentimental about the present government. You understand? So that they have their own hope that tomorrow is better. That is one. It's for jobless people, and that's why we are banned public office holder
from the
movement.
Okay.
So that you will not have the coloration that this is, and it is giving the present government a full support all over, because that will make them to focus into whatever they want to do, and those want to have something to do. And then let me tell you, it's our right. Okay. It's not Buhari we are campaigning for. It's not saying we are saying thought and now. When Buhari has been elected as a president, all these distractions that people is bringing here and there, you can see the video clip. We have said that it's going nowhere. So it's better we prepare Nigeria for the next level. And that is the word for it. So if you get distracted and you are waiting for one tribunal or whatever, you're just wasting your time. So before the youth are being hijacked for negativity, I have hijacked most of the youth for positivity. And we are teaching them a lot of things. It's like an empowerment, and you soon see the empowerment coming out. Okay. From local government to local government. So at the same time, they are doing politics about it. And we are training non-politicians. Because every time they say politics is dirty, politics is dirty. It's the way we have played it. Yeah. If you have played a positive side of politics. You visited our meeting last time. Yeah. You could see the way it's conducted. Yeah. Because I specifically invite the press to come and witness what we are doing. Yeah. So, and we are very transparent. We're giving people based on their capacity. So this non-governmental organization, which is a voluntary organization, you are free to join, you are free to leave. Is to occupy the mind of the jobless Nigeria that this present government are here to give job, and they can be hopeful that tomorrow will be a better thing. So we have our own program, and we have our program, and our program will soon be unveiled, but we want to finish with the structure, that is executive, from all the states of the federation, so that we'll be hearing TNN every nooks and cranny of Nigeria, and we are working hard on it. It's not for Tinubu. Tinubu is just on his own place. It's for our own interest, which Tinubu ambition can make true. You cannot come and twat somebody who has never done well in society and say somebody like me, you follow him. So that is the reason. So some people will be having campaign of calumny. It's because people who does not understand what TNN stand for. And that's why I say, let me come to TV today, let people know that it's a voluntary organization. I'm not engaged by Tinubu, I've not met him, and I have not discussed with him on this issue. I don't even need to, because it's my right. Because even if he called me, even if Tinubu called me that I'm not going for president, I say, okay, it's my own right to choose who am my president. So let me be doing my own work. So if you like, travel out. By the time we win presidency for you, you come back and take it.
All right, MKO, we have to go. Oh my God, I tell you, don't pitch up with us. We just say the way it is. I tell you, we do it black and white to see it plain. All right, MKO, please, in a brief moment, in a nutshell, what do you have to tell the people at home? So we just round
I want to tell Nigeria at home that it's not even of our own advantage for us to break at this time. We spent together in the amalgamation in 1914, until then, there was a part of democracy, which is an independency, just like any other places. Like in India, we have independence from the British in Nigeria. But while Indians are building technology, we are building churches. So these are the orientation we need to change. I'm telling you, it's only in Nigeria you see general overseer. They have been copying it in Ghana. You won't see general overseer in London, neither in America. So where are we getting our own civilization for? Dirty thing that was not in all those civilized nations. We bring it at home. And we started now boozing our people and start talking what is not. So it is a change of orientation we are trying to do here. Political orientation we are trying to change here. We want to do things differently. We want to let the participation of people to be involved. This is not a party politics. It's not. It's a voluntary politics. It is your will to make a choice. And that is what we are doing. Now we are advising Nigeria. We are advising Nigeria that the political problem that we have, or whatever problem, can be solved using political solution. through rotational power. Immediately Buhari left office now, and somebody in South pick it, herdsmen will vanish. We don't even know what, maybe Idesu or whatever you call it at that time. But we should be prepared not to allow anybody to spring up.
We should not be prepared for war. We don't want war. Till I come your way again next week and speak talk with Tessa. Be good to yourself and always play safe. If you have to play, it's a bye-bye from this end. Bye-bye.